New promos. And I'm super excited to share these new promotions with you. So let's get started with the announcements, and then we'll dive into tonight's speakers. And you'll want to grab a notebook because I'm sure that you're going to get tons of golden nuggets that you'll want to share. We're recording this. We'll make this available as well. Okay, let me share my screen here. And, you know, one of these days I'll learn to close about 1 million of my tabs before we start. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. As I said, it is a new month, so it is July. And as a quick reminder, I just want to let everybody know that our offices will be closed tomorrow in the US, but we will be open again on Wednesday. So just closed tomorrow. I still wanted to do the call tonight because I didn't want to miss a week giving you guys some updates. So let's get started. Okay, our loyalty promo this month is Beauty Boost. It's one of my favorites. I love this. I love this product. It is great for your hair, your skin, your nails, but also it just tastes fantastic. I'll tell you, my favorite little mix is I do a stick of Elite, a scoop of the Beauty Boost, and then 2 scoops of the Pure Nourish. And I'll tell you what, it is like a fruit flavored orange creamsicle. It is delicious. And I'll be honest, a lot of times I'll add some giving greens to that too. Okay, now I wanted to do something different to help you guys out this month with promoting the loyalty. So let's talk about it. As you know, we have a live shop option that we try to do just about every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and we go live and we do a kind of a talk show or a live shopping TV kind of format. Well, many of you might know or have seen the videos that Dr. Ray Strand did. These are just quick, like 1 to 2 minute videos that do overviews for our products. And I thought, let's try this. Instead of having to share Dr. Strand's video to a customer and then get back to them and have to share another link to purchase it, what if we just uploaded Dr. Strand's video about Beauty Boost into the Shop Live library? Now, when you guys go into the library, you can click on this to get the link. You can share it out to anyone. It won't be live. It's pre-recorded. Share it out to anyone. Not only can they watch just a quick 1 to 2 minute video, the buy now button, the buy now option will be right there. So they'll be able to purchase it just like they would on a live show. I think what a better way to have a call to action. We know that that is the most important thing as we are sharing products is follow up and the call to action. And with this, it's one link. That link is unique to you. So anybody that purchases from that link, you will receive the commissions off of the Beauty Boost. So I thought, let's try it out. It's going to depend on you guys, whether we upload all the other videos and try this again. If I see a lot of engagement, if I see a lot of shares on this, then that's telling me that it's worthwhile. And we will try this with all of Dr. Strand's videos and perhaps do a special series with Deanna, maybe some 5-minute videos, one for each product. So let me know if you like it. The best way you can tell me is by sharing and watching the video. All right, thanks guys. I'm really excited about this. I love finding new ways that you guys can reach out. Okay, next, regular shopping cart. So this is something that's super easy to share with customers. It is 30% off of probiotics. So obviously for customers, it's 30% off of retail. For you brand partners, it's 30% off of what you would normally purchase it at as a brand partner. Now is the time to stock up. And we'll be doing some more education and some shop live videos on the probiotics as well. Now, keep in mind, this is a special promo code. So 3377. When you click that, it will automatically put 2 bottles of the probiotics in your cart at 30% off. And we are going to run both of these, the Beauty Boost and the probiotics, through July 31st. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody, let's see your hands up. Let's see clapping. I'm so excited to celebrate this lady tonight. Ashley Paulsen has earned her $10,000 savings bonus. And when you hear the story, not only are you going to be excited for her that she was able to be awarded this, but when you hear the story, I think you're all going to be inspired to keep going, work hard, and we are going to provide some great tips of how her team pulled together to help her do this on a very special anniversary. So Ashley, hang tight. We are going to bring you live in just a moment, but before we do that, I want to do our testimony for the evening, and our testimony actually comes from, let's see, did I stop sharing? Yep, thumbs up if I'm stopped sharing, right? Okay, awesome. Okay, so we picked a special testimonial tonight because Beth Johnson is a part of Ashley Paulsen and Kristal Vance's team. And she is one of the teammates that pulled together to make this happen. But I wanted to start off with introducing her and have her tell you her story. And then I'm going to bring up all three of these ladies. And I can't wait to share. So let's see, Beth, are you able to unmute? Oh, there we go. You can unmute yourself now.
Hello.
Hello. Beth, I'm so excited to have you on. Now, we met when we were in Destin, and you were sharing with me your weight loss story. And I'm going to put up a slide. In fact, I'm going to share this. I'm going to put up a slide. I know, you know what? I don't have any before pictures because I was so embarrassed to take, and I wish I would have, but I was so embarrassed to take photos that I didn't have them. Let's see, can you guys see the screen, the savings bonus, thumbs up? Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna just go to this next slide. So as we were on the beach in Destin, Beth, you were sharing your story with me and the happiness and the glow. If you'll remember, you were skipping up and down in the beach and we were trying to capture pictures of you jumping up in the air. And the weight loss was great, but it was the smile and the energy. So I would love for you to share your story.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of you know that I'm a kindergarten teacher. So as you can imagine, being busy all day long, the day just gets away from me. So I lose track of time. You know, at 4 o'clock, I haven't eaten. I haven't even drinking anything, let alone water. You know, I get, 4 o'clock, I don't even have energy to work out. And that combined with some autoimmune things that I suffer from, killed my self-esteem, it killed my motivation. All of it had just such a direct impact on not just my lack of success with products, but of course the self-esteem and the want to do anything. I think sometimes then we avoid pictures, we avoid going out, doing things. It just isn't fun anymore when you don't feel good. So, looking at where I was at, and I was the same weight at the doctor in June as I was in December. And I had done all the right things that they tell you. I was working out, I was doing this and that, and nothing was changing. So, as most of us, we decide this is not working. This is not, I turned 50. I still have a lot of life left. But several things had to absolutely change for anything to work. And I feel like the products, I had to be purposeful. I had to make sure and get the drops in 3 times a day. I had to make sure and give up my Pepsi. I know, but I had to make sure to get the water, and I had to make sure to get meals, whether it's a small meal or it's a burn or a quick protein shake. I mean, I had to be purposeful with all of that. And the renew, you have to, you can't just take it here and there. So even if I was already half asleep, I would get my buns up and I would go take that renew. So I think making sure to be purposeful with the products was first. But having said all of that, I think the big change that had to happen was my mindset. Kristal said, and I've said it before, but she kept saying, man, you were such a little firecracker. And, she goes, I want you to find that, get that back. And I was hearing it, but I think you're so caught up in the moment, having to change that mindset. I've spent my entire adult life, surrounding everything of my being about my kids, what they need, what they want. And I loved every moment of it. Absolutely. Every part of being a mama. I love every stage, from the itty bitty to but right now I am very blessed that I have 4 amazing little human beings. They're not so little anymore, but they are killing it at adulting, but they don't necessarily need their mama that much anymore. So I didn't know who I was without that. So I was finding myself lost. And so focusing on myself was that big mindset, emotionally, physically, everything. So not only combining the products with the habits, but the mindset stuff, all of that had to come into one.
You are getting so much love in the chat, Beth, because you're being so vulnerable. And I think you are sharing what so many of us feel. We often share the happy times and the celebrations here at Partner,
because it's easier.
It's easier, right?
Yeah.
Many of us have been exactly where you are. And I love that you said, that you made a commitment to the products to just get them in. And that was something that resonated with me. For me, that was when it kicked in. That and Steve Schwartz calling me and yelling at me. That motivated me too. Right. But I was trying to give him all sorts of excuses of like, I can't remember the drops, I'm too busy. And he said,
it happens. I get it.
Do it. So what I did was I stopped looking at the scale. My goal was I'm going to take this 3 times a day. And when I went to bed, and if I'd taken it 3 times a day, it was a success. And I wasn't even looking at the weight. I was successful if I followed through 3 times a day. And I love that you shared that.
Yeah.
What's some advice that you would give to people? Because you said it exactly right. Your mindset has to be there. Mm-hmm. So if your mindset isn't there, what are some pieces of advice that you would say that might maybe help you get there?
The accountability people or person, and it can be yourself, but it does help when someone's saying, hey, hello, and my dog, I shared some pictures in Destin that, when I'm on the ground where she's in my face, and now and I'm different than you. I have to step on the scale every day, because if I don't, I could do a lot of damage in a week. I'm a emotional, many people say you wear your heart on your sleeve, I do. And so it's easy to oopsies several days in a row, but when your accountability to yourself, stepping on that scale every day, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't get my water in yesterday, or, oh, yep, so I got to kick it into gear today. So I do have to step on it every day, which is funny that now the dog will step on it. It's hilarious. She, I guess, weighs herself. So that was a little different, that I do have to, I would say that, and our team is done where we have kind of weekly sheets that have, the business stuff, but it also has the personal stuff on it, whether you're movement or vision, reading. So there's different things that we really, on a personal level, but I think finding the accountability for not just the weight loss, but that support, knowing that you have somebody there or is reaching out, and that connection for me, because I'm a people person, that I'm very, very introverted, but yet I'm all about social too. So it's kind of a wishy-washy type of thing for me. But I just think that not only accountability, but connections and knowing that somebody's there, and having moved to Montana when I had 4 kids under the age of 8 and a brand new one, I didn't have the adult connections. So for 20 years, any friend that I had was like one of my kids' friends, parents. And then when you're not involved in that, things change. And so making that reconnection, I mean, I met Kristal when we were teenagers, just reconnecting some things. And if anybody needs a person, I'll be that person. You can call me when you're sad. I don't even have to know why you're crying. Unfortunately, I will just sit and cry with you.
You
reach
are
out.
you are so incredibly special, and your spirit is like coming through the screen. And
Thank
I
you.
love that you mentioned that accountability and that community and that partnership, because that's something that we're going to dive into tonight, and we're going to really talk about. But Dr. Kristal put something in the chat. I knew you'd lost 60 pounds. I did not know you lost 60 pounds in 6 months.
Mhm.
Holy cow.
January 7th.
Yeah. Wow. Everybody's clapping for you. That is incredible. I'm going to invite, you mentioned Dr. Kristal. I'm going to invite Dr. Kristal up. I'm going to leave you up here too. And I'm going to invite Ashley Paulsen as well, because I'm going to put you three on the panel. We're going to talk a little bit about teamwork. So Dr. Kristal, hopefully you were able to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I'm going to find you so I can spotlight you.
I'm glad you guys got to see how amazing Beth is. And oh my goodness. It's a joy doing. I love what we do. We just get to hang out with really cool people. So what a blessing. And this last week has been absolutely insane, and it would not have happened without Ashley Paulsen. And
I'm trying to find, and by the way, there's Miss Ashley. I couldn't find her. There we go. All right.
There. The girl of the hour. We're so
love you. Love all of you.
You guys, she's seriously getting a check for $10,000. Can you imagine if you open up your checking account on Friday and it has an extra 10 grand in there?
Well, and I want to talk to you about that a little bit, Ashley, because there's a really special story around this $10,000 savings bonus, as well as an anniversary. So if you don't mind, I would love for you to share your story.
Oh my goodness.
Already.
Oh, I had to open it up to the gallery view, because I could not just sit here and look at Beth and Kristal, because I'd probably cry the whole time. Such an emotional week, and so really just excited to be here. I told my daughter, she's standing literally right here next to my monitor, and she's like, I'm so nervous tonight to speak on the corporate call, and she's like, Mom, you've done this a billion times. Stop, just do what you do. And I'm like, oh, that's my child. I raised that.
You did.
Super excited to be here with all of you. A little bit about my story and really how I got here. So gonna try to keep my stuff in a group tonight. If you know me, you'd know I'd probably say other words, but I started this industry about 8 years ago, and really, I never really knew 8 years ago what it would bring me. Okay. So I was working full time in the oil and gas industry, and my mother, who was a massage therapist, who actually knew Dr. Kristal, she used to be our chiropractor. So every time I see her when we go to events, I'm like, get over here, I need an adjustment. She approached me and she said, Dr. Kristal and we started with this company. It has amazing products. I know you have headaches all the time. You have health issues. I want you to start taking the products, but it's really exploding from an income standpoint. And 8 years ago, my husband and I both worked in the same industry. And so all of our eggs were in one basket. Okay. So I was like, maybe I could diversify. I was a single mom at a point in time. So I've always believed in creating extra on the side, giving yourself that little cushion, right? So I jumped in, started taking the products, simply started sharing down here in Colorado. And my mother, Lisa, had still lived in Gillette with Kristal. And I'm like, they're having these at-home parties. They're having all this success. If they can do it, so can I, right? I'm just like, also get that from my mom. So I started having parties down here and started sharing. And really what we created in such a short amount of time, and it truly goes off of the belief you have in yourself, but the belief in what you have in your hands, okay? That excitement deep down, even if you are not excited that day and the world hit you right in the forehead, when you're talking to someone, you have to share that belief and you have to share that excitement, even if it's a fake smile for 30 minutes. Okay. And really, we just simply started sharing. And a few years prior to us doing this business, my mother had breast cancer and she was in remission. But about 11 months into our business, she had found out her breast cancer was back. It had spread to her lungs, her liver, and her spine. During that time in the hospital, she found this out. She also found out that she hit a $10,000 bonus within our current company. And we had an event coming up that June 4th, 2016, in New Orleans. And she said, I can't go. I'm sick. I'm doing treatments. She goes, you're going to have to go and accept that check for me on stage. And I was like, it's emotional, right? Like we've been through a lot and it was an emotional time for us. And so I went down to New Orleans, accepted this big $10,000 check on stage. This is where it gets me. She ended up passing away 3 weeks later at the age of 47. And so I don't know if it's good my daughter's just standing right here now. I'm like, she's probably making me more emotional. She made me strong for a minute, but maybe now she's making me emotional. But she ended up passing away 3 weeks later from her breast cancer that had spread. And it was very quick, right? And so over the years, right, it's not a matter of when life's going to happen to you. If it's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to you at some point. I could have easily thrown in the towel. I could have easily been like, I'm not doing this out without my mom. You know, it was a struggle there for a while, but I also had our whole entire company as a support system outside of my inner circle. Okay. And so this past week that I just hit my $10,000 bonus check, fast forward 7 years, my mother's anniversary of her passing was actually on June 27th, which was last Tuesday. So a few weeks ago, I was talking to Dr. Kristal and I was talking to Brent and I said, in my back office, I don't know if you guys have seen that little thing. It says how much you've earned out of your $10,000 bonus. Okay. And I was looking at it and I said, I'm only such and such amount away. And Kristal's like, we should do a hard run at the end of this month for your mother's passing to hit that bonus. And we did it. Beth Johnson had a huge part in that, sharing her story, sharing, stuff on social media, getting orders in, but our entire team, okay, that outside support system that I've had over the last 8 years came together. They put in product orders, they put in customer orders, they added new brand partners. Every single person on our team rallied, and it's hard to even put it into words, honestly.
Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean, I know it was so emotional, but there's so many just touching points. And I love that the fact that this is a legacy company, but you continued on with the work and you made your mom proud. And I just think the timing of this is no accident. And I want to continue talking, but I want to bring on Dr. Kristal and Beth as well. So Dr. Kristal, you called me up a few weeks ago and told me that you were going to do this. And I was super excited, but I want you to share your experience because it ended up being so much more successful than you could ever imagine. And it really just highlighted the fact that this is a partnership-based business.
Yeah. Well, I'd pretty much do anything in the world for this girl. So this was not hard to fight and rally everybody. And I think that's it, is that it's really not hard to rally people when it's for the right reasons. When it's about heart, when it's about team, when it's about empowering other people. Sometimes it's hard to find that in just, hey, let's go charge the hill, even though it's the same passion. But when you throw your heart over the hill, that's when it's different. And so I really encourage you guys, grab your team and find something that pulls heart. that bonds you and brings you together. Because I guarantee you, your team will do more for the other people on the team than they will ever do for yourself. And so, that perfectly highlights Beth. Beth has been having this story, and you guys met her. She's incredible. And she goes, you know what? I think I'll go out there and post my posts. She was so uncomfortable to do it, you guys. She was like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I don't want to do it. And I was like, well, if you want to do it, she's seeing other people having success. And she's like, if they can do it, I can too. And so, right, Beth? So you set a personal goal for last week. What was your personal goal that you said? I didn't even know she had a personal goal. And she's like, oh no, I have a personal goal I'm running after. What was it?
Well, when we met as a team and Brent said he was going to get 1,000, I thought, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to get it. I'm going to go get it done.
Okay.
So it was 1,000.
Okay. So here's the thing, guys. What do? We call it a rally call. When you guys want to bring everybody together, like think about sports, high school, this is the big game of the year. And what do? A pep rally. You do a pep rally to bring the spirit to the top and let it bubble over and let it carry you on to the victory. So we did a rally call, and we brought the whole team together, and we brought all of the upline in. Robin DeMio was there, Brant Palmer, myself, everybody rooting for Ashley. And when Ashley says there was people all over in the team, we're talking people cross line calling, Donna Regan, my parents, so many people.
Sandy McFarland.
Sandy McFarland, totally cross line. Hey, where can I place an order so that this volume goes towards Ashley's team? And it's like, no, like I love your hearts. That's not, but they've got this, they've got it. And so that's what we did. It was like, all right, I'm going to enroll someone. I got this person coming in, or I've got a 4-pack or a 10 that I'm ordering in. And the first person to enroll someone, we made it fun. We gamified it. Mm-hmm. First person that enrolls is going to be the person that gets it. Mm-hmm. And we just started to create a frenzy in our own pond. And that's what happened.
That competition within yourself. When you guys were talking about doing the competition and the first person to enroll, as you're talking about it, I'm shooting out because I had people on the fence that just hadn't done the card thing. So I'm like, hey, if you want to order right now, I've got a water bottle for you. You just buy the filter, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, I think I had a person in at 7:03 when that contest started. You know what I mean? She was like, well,
are you bitter that you didn't get that person?
What do you mean? Oh, she signed up. She ordered.
Oh, yeah. No, she got that. She's like, remember 7:01? You're like, and Cindy beat me in 1 minute. Are you kidding?
It
me?
Happens. It happens.
But what happened? Your boat rose too. Like you both got someone new. How many people did you bring in last week?
Total, I think, it was 6, but I got 5 with the water bottle promo.
So she came up with that one all on her own. She's like, oh, I've got water bottles. They'll have to buy their own filter though. I'll give them the water bottle, but they got to buy their own filter. So she's still getting volume out of it.
But it's still, and it upped the PV, like 35 for 5 of them, upped our PV. So, and that was my goal. I'm doing the PV to get Ashley's PV. And so, yeah, once we got there, then I'm like, okay, well, we're at this. So now how much higher can I get? So I can't remember what it ended up with, but it was more than 1,000 PV that week.
It was.
And it was so much power. There's so much power in the collaboration. What I'm giggling about is we all need wins. And how exciting is it when you have a team that everyone else's win is your win? Because I'm looking at Ashley, who just got her $10,000 savings bonus. And you know what?
Earned that.
Beth is there like giddy and happy because she helped. It's a win for everybody.
Totally.
And Ashley, I just want to talk to you really quickly about, it's an obvious question how much this meant to you, but were you shocked, like how much people came together?
Oh my goodness. I told Kristal at the end of the night on Friday, I said, I think this entire week I have felt every emotion ever possible. Like the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the excitement, the sadness, right? It brought so much emotion that week, just it being that week of her passing, but also just everyone rallying together, right? And there was literally a tribe behind us. And I had people, how close are you? What are we at? What is this? What is that? And Kristal and I were talking on Friday, and it's like, if you believe in this stuff, then that's great. But we literally tallied it up, and she goes, guess how much volume you are away? And she like got choked up, and I was like, uh-oh, this isn't good. She goes, 333 volume points away. If you believe in that stuff, the number 3 is an angel thing, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where it's like, my mom totally had a hand in it all the way still right now. And it just, choosing to shine after the storms that come through your life, right? Everything starts from within. And it's like, as emotional as the week was, I had 6 parties. I had multiple one-on-ones. I literally went from Gillette, Wyoming for my high school graduation all the way through the entire state of South Dakota to Sioux Falls, which is literally the entire state of nothing. But like, I was working just as hard as everyone else. And I'm like, just having the team rally behind you. And I said that before I kind of got choked up, way to switch lanes a little bit, but just so thankful and blessed. And it's what we have, literally what you have in your hands is such a special gift, such a special gift. The leaders and the people building this team right now were not the big leaders when my mother was here. They're not the big leaders when we built this business. Do I still have residual income and a lot of people drinking limu? Absolutely. The power of residual income, I'm still getting paid on orders that my mom enrolled people from 8 years ago. Like, residual income and having that income is such a blessing. But to reach this $10,000 bonus with the team that I've created, like, it's mine now, right? A lot of times it was like, I did the $10,000 bonus check for my mom. I'm still part of her team, right? And a lot of people are like, that's great. You have the whole business that she handed down to you. But like, it's such a beautiful thing. But I kept grinding, and I kept reaching out to new people, and I kept finding new leaders, and I kept, right? You still have to go out and create and build the new, because it's like a whole new chapter. And I wanted that chapter to be Ashley Paulsen's, not the chapter from before, right? It's still important. It's still a part of my story, but now it's mine, and I'm moving forward with that. And it's been such a blessing. The team, the company, the leaders, Kristal Vance, like Kristal said, everyone cross line all the way to like other people's teams. Just truly, we are so, so blessed, and we have the best company and the best people and the best leaders in the entire world. I truly believe
Ashley, I think that is amazing. And you are somebody that you work so hard. And this is going to sound like a funny compliment, but it's one of my favorite things about you. You are so incredibly practical. You don't throw out like hyperboles. You don't throw out like, yeah, everybody, let's just go do it. You're like, okay, how? And how are we going to post it? And when are we going to post it? And what's the hashtag? Like, you follow through. You are so detail oriented. And you've given me so many tips on social media that I would have never even thought about. And I love that you take it out of kind of this textbook scenario and you apply it with application. And I'd love to just sit and pick your brain. I think you're phenomenal. One of the things that I'd like to do, so Dr. Chris, I want to talk to you before we close this out, because obviously Ashley's story is an amazing story. And obviously there was some extra motivation there to kind of pitch in. But you and I have been talking. This is the rally. This is something that you are going to continue with your teams. And I want you to kind of maybe just give us a few little steps or some guidance or advice on how you could do this, even if maybe somebody is running for their rank advancement. Remember that if you hit your rank advancement, In August, you'll be able to be celebrated at the convention. So what if it's like that? What if somebody's just making a race for the stage? What are some tips?
Well, the biggest thing is you have to know where you are and you have to know where you're headed. So it's sitting down with your upline. Okay. And it might not be your most immediate upline. It's the next growing upline that you feel is plugged in. And because Ashley she could have gone to her team because of the relationship that she has and said to her team, you guys, I want to do this. This is the 7-year anniversary. But when we got on that call with her team, I kicked her off the call because we wanted to do this for Ashley. And I knew she was going to get in there and just work it, right? No, she wasn't going to be handed anything. That's not who she is. She was going to get down in there in the dirt like a good leader does and just roll with everybody. But we kicked her off. If you're going to rally and you're going to find what the destination is that you're running against, you got to sit down and you got to have your plan. So if it's a rank advancement, what is the rank? Because you're not going to like accidentally hit it. Okay. That very rarely happens. You have to be as Beth. Now I want you to know when Beth started losing her weight, I'm like, so what's the biggest thing you changed? She's like, I'm purposeful. I'm like, you're purposeful. What does that mean to you? And she's like, I know what I'm eating. I know when I'm eating. I have alarms set for my drops. I just have a plan and I work my plan. And I said, if you will take that exact mentality into your business, you will be skinny and rich.
I love that. That is some great advice.
Okay. So she did. And you guys, now her business is growing. It's the same mentality. And so to do this rank, you've got to know what the numbers need to look like. And now you divide those. Most everyone is working with 2 pay lines, and some have more, but it's a lot easier to come down to a handful, right? Now you divide the work over, the workload gets divided. And so it's like you go to the next leader and you go, okay, let's go to the bottom of the team and see what we can do to help them have success. This business is always built helping the newest person. I'm going to help the newest person get to gold or ultimate, right? Those are our things. I'm going to help the newest person get their business qualified. And you do that, and there's volume in that. You don't have to focus on the volume, you focus on the people. And that's what Beth started doing. I'm going to focus on helping some people get started with Slenderize. Well, of course, if she does, she knows that 76 PV for every person who purchases a box. Like if I have to ask you, do you know how many points is in Slenderize? I know you have not ever done a rally using Slenderize because you know how many points are in a box of Slenderize. If you do, you know how many points.
But I also do the Slenderize renew, so it's 105.
Right? Drop the pounds back, baby. So you find the tools that you need to accomplish the goal. And then you go to the next person above the newest person and go, so we're helping them get to business and ultimate. When they achieve their goal, this is what it's going to look like for you. Now, as a leader, you're casting a vision for that next person, and you just keep rolling it up and you keep rolling it up. And all of a sudden you look at it and you're like, we're not only going to hit our goal, we're going to blast past it. And that's exactly what happened with Ashley's team. You guys, they didn't just come across the line broken, huffing and puffing. They smashed that finish line. And because of that, they put themselves into momentum. I love Partner Co. and I love everything that you guys are doing. And I love that the back office is becoming user friendly and that the website is like, I'm like, every single time I get on there, I'm like, oh, this is new. Oh, this is new. I appreciate that. And it will help us get in momentum. But until we step into our future, until we light the fires on our own butts, we don't get to cross that finish line smoking. We come across maybe a little beaten, maybe a little ragged, right? But if you light your own fire and you go into momentum, and it's exactly what Ashley and her whole team did. No one did this for them. Partner Co. did not do this for them. They pulled up their own britches and they said, let's take it. They threw their hearts on the mountain and they ran after it. So I'm just so proud of you, Ashley, and Beth Johnson and Jane and Daryl Peterson and Cindy Thompson. And there's so many people that just the next level of leaders revealed themselves in this rally. Ashley knows who to work with.
Dr. Kristal, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I think this is just a perfect example of leadership. And so I want to thank you for coming on tonight.
Kristine, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, I actually,
real quick.
I want you to hang on because I want to talk to you for even more than that. So
I want to say real
thank
quick,
you.
just going off Beth. So obviously Beth is amazing. You heard from her, but she's obviously lost the 60 pounds in 6 months. But something a lot of times, especially when I had first started, I'm like, I have to have this big transformation. I have to have all these results. I have to do all this stuff before I can have success, right? It's natural for us to feel that. And so obviously your before and after pictures, like Beth said, as uncomfortable as they are, if your goal is to lose weight, take your before pictures, even if you have to shut your eyeballs. Okay. Like take your before pictures because it's worth it as your journey and your story keeps going. But one thing our team did, Cindy Thompson had done her before and after pictures and posted it on social media. She did a post. Her teammate, Anna Jersa, went and reshared hers and said, I'm wanting to drop my last 5 pounds. I'm going to start on these drops. And she had like 8 people comment on her page, right? Because she shared Cindy's story. Gina Langley's on our team. She literally just held up the 2 sets of drops and she's like, I'm going to start these drops. They help with my hormones. Right. And she went and did it. She had like 8 people comment on there. So I just want to share tonight that you don't have to have a 60-pound weight loss story. You don't have to lose 42 pounds like Ashley Paulsen did. Share someone else's, right? Share someone else's until you have your own story. There's tons of people having results with Sunrise. There's tons of people having results with Renew. So whatever your product is, or you're focusing on at this moment in time, find those success stories and share those because that's where you're going to pique that interest. And then lastly, and I don't kind of know what you want to go into, but lastly, like Kristal was talking about, do you have a game plan for yourself? Okay. You can look in your back office. You can look at your volume. You can look at your commissions. You can be happy about it. You can be sad about it. You can be stuck there or you can move on. Okay. So in your savings bonus, basically to what starts getting the company to match it is $250 in base commission. So when you go on your back office, you go to my money, you go to my volume, check that every Saturday when your volume resets. And then maybe check it midweek and then maybe check it Friday. Your main goal should be looking at that every single week and seeing if it's $250. If not, go share it with 3 people. Okay. Just keep doing that every single week and then it'll start snowballing and then it'll get to 250 and then you'll start getting that additional 15% put in your savings bonus. So I just want to share that because titles are important. Sharing it with people is important, but that's really a visual that you can look on under your volume every single week so you can know where you're at. And don't be discouraged by that number, right? Don't be discouraged by that number.
That goes right to you are practical, you are logical, you have a plan. I want to just ask you one question really quick because we ask everybody. So what are you going to do with the $10,000?
You're going to laugh at me. My daughter's over here like, yeah, what are we going to do with it? First of all, I don't know if you guys saw that video that Dr. Kristal did with the juicing. I don't have a juicer, so I'm going to buy a juicer. Lord knows after my 9-day trip of on the road, seeing family and doing parties, I need a little detox. So I don't really know. We're savers. Obviously, my daughter's going to college and starting a new chapter, but I don't I don't know. Save it
Wow.
for just I don't have any big plans with it. I'm gonna buy a juicer for sure, which might sound silly, but
I think that's exciting. And I just want you to know how incredibly proud we are, how incredibly proud I'm sure your whole team is, that we will be seeing you walk across the stage. What did you say, 7 years after you walked across the stage for your mom? So you'll be able to walk across the stage and accept your $10,000 savings bonus check. And we are super excited. Dr. Kristal, I'm going to give you the last word because I think I cut you off.
Oh, you're funny. No, I'm gonna, I want you guys to hear this one last thing. It's going to give you all the feels. We told you we would leave you with all of the feels, and you heard Ashley talk about the 333. Okay, Lisa was very much, she was my yin to my yang. Okay, and I miss her greatly. But she was one of those, like, you believed in everything spiritual when you were around Lisa, because she just had that energy and that specialness. And she did believe in angel numbers, and she believed in the Lord with all of her heart. And she shows up all of the time. And I know many of you know what I'm talking about. But when the 333, when it was like, how much volume do you have left? And we're looking at it, and it hit. And by doing the math, it was 333 PV. And I was like, and so a little bit later, we're putting in the last things, crossing the finish line. And Ashley's like, okay, so we need to look at Beth's numbers. We need to see where Beth is, right? Because we're all doing this together. It's not, Beth, what's your numbers? Like, we're identifying them, and we're going to Beth, going, Beth, this is where you're at. And she's like, yep. So I say, Ashley, I need Beth's ID number. A8825 333. She
When you
showed
said
up.
it just gave me the goosebumps.
She was there for the last of the volume, and she was there with the person that was cranking out that last of the volume. And it just goes to show you. So if you're one of those who feels like, I feel like there's somebody, you're like, someone's not here with me anymore. They're here. They're right beside you. And they will give you everything you need, because Ashley Paulsen could not have come across that without her mom. She was there the whole time. So,
Dr. Kristal, thank you. I'm glad that we're ending on that. What a beautiful story. Beth, thank you so much for your story. Kristal, thank you for being such an incredible leader and bringing the team together. And Ashley, congratulations. You are incredible. And like I said, we cannot wait to celebrate you in Vegas. So thank you for joining, everybody. And remember, celebrate tomorrow. Have a good day. Offices are closed, but we'll be back on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Good night.